Hello everybody, it's your girl Khadija. Welcome to my channel. You're watching Conversations with Klever. Many people tend to have relationship anxiety either when they're in a relationship or when they're single and they're actively looking for a relationship. So today in part one, I would like to chat specifically with the single person that is experiencing relationship anxiety and helping you come up with a few ways to help move past that anxiety. So a few months ago, I did a conversation about fear and anxiety. And if you have not done so already, please check that out. That was just in the general way of talking about fear and anxiety. And in that particular video, I kind of outlined what anxiety is, and it really plays to the what if scenarios or the worst case scenarios. Either or, whether it's what if or whether it's worst case scenario, the feeling that you feel when you're thinking that way is always negative. It causes you to worry, to be overly concerned, to obsess about those types of terms. Honestly kind of define the word anxiety. So today I want to talk to you about the single person and how they may have relationship anxiety. So one of the ways that a single person may have relationship anxiety is when they fear getting close to someone, and that's because there are some layers of insecurity that they may have about themselves, whether they don't feel that they will measure up, they feel that there's a fear of being exposed for who they really are and being accepted for who they truly are. So that person tends to either date in a very casual way, not really getting to know someone, like and opening up to be vulnerable with that person. That's a person that may be having a degree of relationship anxiety because they're saying basically, I'm afraid of letting you in because you may see me and may not like me, may not want me, you may reject me. So relationship anxiety for that single person that's dating really looks like the thought of entertaining the whole thought of being rejected somehow because of who you are at your core. So this same person also tends to again stay surface. I think a lot of times we think about people that are serial daters, they're dating multiple people, and some people just kind of stay on that multiple level where they're dating 4 or 5 different people here and there, and there's not really a commitment thing. That person, there's a chance, and I'm not saying it's in all cases, but there is a chance that there's some type of relationship anxiety they don't want to settle down with one person just yet because they're just afraid of being hurt. So they rather just keep things casual here and there. And again, this is not in all cases, but that could be a component to that person that is a serial dater, especially when the person is getting older and older and there's no, they're just doing this. That seems to be the way of living as time goes on. There's no kind of end goal settling down with one person. And that may not look like marriage for that person, but still, like, it's just this serial dating. I'm keeping stuff surface because I don't want to let anyone in. There could be an issue there can be or could be an issue of relationship anxiety for that particular person. So then there are those with baggage from previous relationships. And I think those of us that have had multiple relationships at some point in time, you've learned lessons from different people, different relationships, and you've experienced some stuff, some good, some bad, and you carry some degree of baggage. And if it's unresolved within yourself, if you haven't come to terms with how that relationship ended, and you're carrying and harboring whatever that issue or those issues were, and you bring it to that new person, you can have relationship anxiety. So one of the ways that you can help move past relationship anxiety in this particular instance is, number one, to identify and address any past trauma. And this may include going to therapy. And I'm going to tell you guys now, therapy is healing. Therapy is good for the soul. It's good for the mind because it helps you address the stuff that's going on within you that you may not be able to express with anyone else. The person typically, hopefully, is an unbiased person, someone you don't know. So therapy is good. So whatever you need to do to get yourself healing and move past that trauma, start with therapy if you can. And if you cannot do that, or in conjunction with that, is to write down, sit with yourself. I think sitting with yourself is really beneficial, because it gives you an opportunity to write down. If you can go back, play the highlight reel of your mind and think about those things, those relationships that have failed you, whether it's a parental relationship, whatever that type of relationship that is giving you unfortunately a skewed perception of relationships. Write that stuff down. How did it make you feel? Even if it was your own experience in a relationship, how did it make you feel? And then how can you move past it? You know, sometimes if you face something head on, whether it's facing it on paper or what have you, you're able to move on and sit with yourself and say, you know what, I can't have this hold me back anymore. So the first step again is to identify and address any past trauma. So the next step will be to operate in the present and not the past. So unless you're dating the same person over and over again, by that I mean you're selecting the same type of person, understand that when you're meeting a new person, this person is unique and different, and you should treat them as such. And again, unless you're dating the same person, then you really have to kind of go back to the drawing board to see why you're picking that same person. But if that's not the case, understand that new person that you're dating or that you're seeing, is unique and different. So give them an opportunity to show you who they are and not link them to whomever else. So again, operate in the present and not in the past. And then the third way to help you overcome the relationship anxiety in this particular instance is to learn the art learn the difference between being protective of your heart and then letting someone in. It's important to be protective of your heart. Like, you don't go out, you don't meet people, and just divulge all your secrets and tell them all your information. You pretty much give them your social security number. You don't do that. You don't jump head first and just fall in love right away. That's just unwise to do. But at the same time, you can't just be so super standoffish and super like they're trying to ask you questions and you're just one word answers, and because you're so hijacked by whatever you've gone through in your past. You have to learn the difference between, or learn how to balance. That's the better word, to balance being protective. I'm going to be protective of my heart, and then also I am going to learn to let someone in, and that happens slowly but surely. So I really hope that these 3 ways helps you, single person that's dating or single person just been not dating. I hope these 3 ways are ways that help you to move beyond and past the relationship anxiety. Please stay tuned to part 2 for those of you that are in relationships, how you too experience that relationship anxiety and how to overcome that.